Okay, I think it's about time we do this. You know, normally I don't do media videos like that, but you know, at some point I've been thinking now. One thing Trump was right about is that the media should not be trusted. Literally, as much as we can all hate Trump and say he's a fascist, he's that, he's yada yada yada. Let me keep it real. He did speak the truth about one thing. The media has a lot of fake news on it. And an example of a fake news channel is Bleacher Report. Now, before you hit me, before you like Bleacher Report, Huffington Post, there's so many more, but the one we're going to be focusing on is the most major sports news channel that we all know, Bleacher Report. See, I'll call Bleacher Report for being the biggest frauds of all time. And why would I do that? Let's explain. For all y'all that know about the Delonte West LeBron's mom situation, let me set the record straight here for everyone. And this is to all major YouTubers. It's all cap. I'll leave the links at the end of my YouTube video. And I'll put the Bleacher Report article because a lot of people need to understand that they need to, this is the thing. And I feel like the reason why Bleacher Report was able to trick the public, especially many NBA fans, is because, let me tell you, out of all the fan bases I've noticed in sports, I'm not going to say there's none of them are gullible, because all sports fans, we can be gullible at times to really just believe in what the media says without doing research. But if I would say which groups of fans have the most likely ability to be very, very gullible, the NBA fans. Now, no disrespect to any NBA fans that always love to root for their teams and all that stuff. Why would I say gullible? Let me explain. Anyone that critically knows how to think for themselves should actually know what alleged means. Alleged would be in the definitions at the end of the beginning, because alleged means something that's based on without proof. Just like they made Kobe to be an alleged rapist without proof. No disrespect to the legend, no disrespect to the Black Mamba, but really gotta explain it. Because people like this Rachel Wood and all these fools be calling him that. And this brings me to the Me Too movement, because the Me Too movement is a scam. Okay. Apart from the feminist movement, which actually have a solid goal, the Me Too movement is a scam. Let me explain. It's funny how the Me Too movement was actually founded or created by a black woman. But no one want to talk about that. No one want to talk about how a movement that's supposed to help with bringing awareness to women's issues and really talking about female trauma only created the opposite action and created more trauma for men. Larger, more increased imprisonments. Believe the victim theory. No, believe in what's right. Believe in the facts. This is part of why the justice system sucks today. Believe in what's right. Believe in what you see. Believe in the victim. So no, we're not gonna do more research. We're just gonna believe someone without any form of evidence. This reminds me of a part of a show that I was looking at. In Law and Order Special Victims Unit, I used to watch shows like that. There was this part where a girl got she claimed she got raped, right? But the only reason why she wanted to incriminate the guy, and this is all thanks to the Me Too movement, by the way. The only reason why she wanted to incriminate the dude that she claimed raped her was because her uncle is a cop. So why not use her uncle as leverage over the dude, so that later on down the life, the dude, every single time the dude is around her and he wants to fuck with her, she's gonna have that mentality of, yep, I have a family member that's a cop, so I'm actually gonna use them against you, which is bad. At the end, at the first time, well, she later on now then confessed that it was consensual, but it was too late. You already did the damage. You already ruined the guy's life. He couldn't go get a big scholarship. He busted his ass off just for nothing. He couldn't get to the best medical schools. The school kicked him out, even in his first year. The school kicked him out. And then the second time he raped her because he now said, well, that's how raping feels like. But like I said, I couldn't blame the dude because it's the girl's fault. Using your uncle as leverage. So how does that compare when we talk about sports? Well, let's bring the most idiotic yet most confusing sports media of all time, known as Bleacher Report. You see, Bleacher Report has been famous for, one thing I love about Bleacher Report is the game of zones and how they actually make cartoons and how they, like, no disrespect, Bleacher Report has done a few good content. But when we're talking about sports media, The Jump, Bleacher Report, and all these guys, they're all clowns. Let's keep it real. Like, let me keep it real. They're all clowns. How am I going to start this? Let's see. To bring in the 2010 situation with Delonte West, LeBron, and Gloria James. Now, you see, the idea was that Delonte actually trash talked LeBron, and LeBron bricked because, players can take things more personal. They can take things more clear. They can do things more clear. You see, the thing is, and I feel like I might need to add my TikTok videos just to really explain what I was dealing with. You see, the problem is not that people can't really look at things clearly. I'm just like, the old media got these fools tricked so much that they cannot believe things without critically thinking. I literally was having this conversation with people on TikTok, and they were like, and I was talking to one guy. The guy's like, "Oh, you passed English class." I'm like, "How do you pass English class and you can't critically think for yourself? How do you pass English class and you cannot even know what alleged means?" But you know what? Alleged would be in the definition of the video, just for people to really, really recap, because you need to really understand that when we say alleged, it means something that's without proof. Let me give the hints to tell you that the Delonte West rumor situation that ruined his life was straight cap. I'll at the end of the video, once the video's in, I will link an article for everyone to read what Delonte West cleared the air for, because a lot of people still believe that rumor, still don't think for themselves, still can't critically use their brain cells to really say, hey, that's not true. Do more research. I'm not gonna be cocky. I'm gonna stay humble here and say, you know what? Listen, let me educate all y'all. The Delonte West situation is cap. Bleacher Report was able to fool y'all because y'all are so gullible. Let me break it down. So, in the first article, remember, I read all these articles. I read at least I can actually at least look at 3 articles, but I'll reference 2 because those are the 2 key ones that I really want to pay attention to. The first one is Not So Cavalier. And in the Not So Cavalier one, remember the key word gossip. Pay attention. Keyword gossip. And another keyword blog. Keyword alleged. Even the whole article already tells me it was cap. Then we go to the next article. Main keyword alleged. Anyone that knows what alleged means would understand that whenever you hear those words, whenever you hear gossip, opinion, like a situation that I actually deal with Rachel Wood, where she was trying to retweet an article or something. Keyword opinion. It means it's based off personal bias. So is something that's based off of alleged. Alleged does not mean that, hey, you did it. Alleged means that you haven't been proven. Alleged is another word to say innocent till proven guilty. Like everyone should have their core due process, which is innocent till proven guilty. On a legal standpoint, you cannot say, well, somebody is guilty of something without having the proper evidence. I feel like the justice system of today is really perpetuating that narrative of it's okay to believe the victim. And this is thanks to the Me Too movement. You see, this is why I say the Me Too movement is a scam. Now, I'm not gonna say the feminist movement is a scam too, because at least the feminist movement had a goal. The problem with the feminist movement is that instead of actually trying to fight for what they're fighting for, they're doing the opposite. Yet you're making people aware of this situation, but instead you're making people still have animosity towards women to some extent. But not everyone hates. Like no one really gives a shit. The feminist movement had a goal, had something to fight for. The Me Too movement was just I too went through that. Me too. I went through that. I want to explain my part. It was supposed to be based on sharing your experience, shared experiences. But it actually isn't. Since the Me Too movement actually had a rise, we've seen more imprisonment, false imprisonment of men in general. Specifically black men. Why do you think Vanessa Bryant went to all these shines that were trying to post fake articles that were like, your this, yada, 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 is the reason why young black men go to jail for no reason? The queen herself says it. The Mamba's wife herself says that. You're insensitive, uncommon. You don't know the fact about the case. You do. This is the reason why young black men go to jail. It's funny because if we look at the Delonte Westford situation, so let me do a backstory. So Bleacher Report and all the shines at old media created this narrative that Delonte West had an affair with LeBron's mom, which anyone that actually do their research and use their brain would know is straight cap. The reason why I had to really bring this up is because a lot of these same people that actually say, well, this is true. No, Bleacher Report says it. Yes, there's a saying that says when one, two, three, four person is saying something, it must be true. But when it comes to the media, even this is why I really said at times we should really give credit to Donald Trump when it comes to the media, because he really exposed the fuckery that comes with the media. Let's explain. You created this narrative that a guy slept with his teammate's mom. That shit got him traded. And then the only mistake I feel like Delonte did was also play into the tricks. He played into the tricks. You see, he could have just denied the rumors and that would not have escalated if he hadn't said what he said to LeBron, like I'm your daddy and shit. You know what I'm saying? That wouldn't have escalated to the point that that fools at Bleacher Report would create the negative narrative about a person. Narratives that damaged his career. He even said it, and in the second article that I'll post, it will really explain it. These fools don't do their research, but claim, like, look at it. They'll say, "Oh, my sources tell me this." I'm not gonna discredit guys like Adrian Wojnarowski because Woj, at least we can trust what he says at times, but I'm not gonna trust what he says, okay? Because there are times when you have to look into it. For instance, until I see that it's been known that, because some things that the media says is straight facts at times, but the Delonte West situation was just straight cap. Like, what ruined his career was not him going to get traded. What ruined his career was a rumor that old media created just because they want to make a quick buck. Guys like Bleacher Report, Huffington Post. There are many more. All this. You see that green? You care about the green more. I'm not gonna say much because, to keep it all the way real, we're seeing a similar pattern happen here. I'm not, I, it's funny that why I always bring LaMelo Ball to this situation because y'all notice the patterns with LaMelo that they're starting with, he's trying to hook up with this person as a YouTube, this Instagram person. I don't believe it until it actually happens because for me, I always believe that what happens in the locker room stays in the locker room. So whatever happens to a player, let it happen. You see, the Melo Ball situation with his teammates not really giving him shit, giving him shine, and now they're saying, okay, you know what, let's learn to play through Melo. That one is believable. Things like a rumor. Look at D'Angelo Russell's situation, for example. Well, he snitched on this guy. Is it true? That one, it's questionable. I cannot say it's cap or it's true. Like, it's on the maybe true, maybe not, maybe cap. Like it's around that area. The reason why I'm bringing this up is because I'm not saying don't trust the media to the point that you not watch the news. I'm saying don't trust the media and take their word for everything until you actually get your facts straight. I've dealt with this when it comes to TikTok. You know what? I'm even cancel actually trying to share the videos. Maybe if you request it, I can actually share the videos in a different video. But here's an example of the conversation I was having with these fools. I remember one telling me, "No, there's so fucking many, there's so many that Bleacher Report, yada yada, etc." The first thing he brought was Bleacher Report, and remember, I just broke down the key words for all y'all. I just literally broke down the key words. I literally just broke it down into pieces. Alleged, gossip, opinion. Opinion is not even in the other one. There was an article in which Delonte West was actually clarifying and set the record straight. It's funny because he even said he didn't do it. Now, out of the people that I will trust when it comes to that situation is LeBron and Delonte West. Have we heard LeBron say anything about it? They try to they did this thing. They're doing this thing with LaMelo too. If you really look at it, they try to make it seem like LaMelo ain't shit to the team. LaMelo ain't this. LaMelo ain't that. You can even ask someone like DJ in New Media, like on behalf of New Media, I'm really saying my mind and saying this is some bullshit. We really gotta start exposing the shines at old media. We gotta start exposing them shines. Okay, guys like Kalina Azabuki being mad over a fucking nickname. LaMelo respect Carmelo so much that he's doing his celebration. That's respect right there. You're not gonna be mad over a celebration and a nickname. This is another example of why you should not trust the media so much. Like, don't try and ride the media's dick so much, man. Sorry, in other words, don't try and always be so gullible to the media. Don't. I'm not saying the media shouldn't. You shouldn't watch the news or look at the news. Like, let me give an example. If I watch on TV and watch sports media, I only watch them just to broadcast games and really give a recap of the game. Literally. You think I really care what they say about a certain player? I don't. Like, and there was one idiot that was asking about, oh, if the Ball family don't have a show, would you guys care about them? Of course. I would know about how they play. I would know their skills. But would I really know who they are as a person in case any situation happened with them? I may have been that type of fool that would be gullible to really believe any rumor about them kids. Even not for Ball in the family and guys like my dog AB the Hero. We would not even know. And AB the Hero is the only one that I'll say, if you want to know anything about the Ball family in terms of like understanding Ball family, he's your guy because he has been around them personally, one on one. So he knows what they are in person compared to any YouTuber, any guys like Ball Facts or DKM. He knows more about the Ball brothers more than even I do. But this is not a video about the Ball brothers, but another example of how old media tricks really, really, really becomes a problem. We gotta address Lonzo's girlfriend, Denise Garcia. Because to cap it off, remember when she called Lonzo a deadbeat dad and be like, he's a deadbeat? Fools like Bleacher Report and all these fools at the sport and ESPN and all these guys, they took it and ran with it. Even though she later on claimed it was a joke, but the damage had already been done. I watched the show part where Lonzo was actually talking to the girl, to her, and saying, "Why you called me a deadbeat?" And she was like, "It's a joke." I'm like, when it comes to the media, nothing is a joke to them. It doesn't matter if you were joking. Like, I've seen Ball in the Family so much that I'm like, this dude is always in his girl's life. Like, his daughter matters to him a lot. I like, anyone remember the day where like Zoe Tina Ball actually went to watch her dad play, and Lonzo had a monster game? I find it funny that whenever his daughter is actually in the game, watching him, you see that when fans are back, when his daughter actually gets to watch him live, you see Lonzo have monster games. I'm just saying, it's hypothetically speaking. Just think about the game. Lonzo had a monster game when his daughter was literally there watching him. It's like motivation or something. Like, I was like, this is not the Lonzo we know. Because another thing about Lonzo's draft status, no one expect him to be a superstar. No one, all of y'all, no one expected this man to be a superstar, bro. Like, even I don't think he was gonna be a superstar. I even said that out of all the Ball brothers, LaMelo's the only All-Star in all of them. Out of all of them, Jello's technically the role player around them because he hasn't proved himself yet. So I'm not gonna say he's the star. He's basically the role player out of all of them. Like, Jello is basically a six man. Lonzo, on the other hand, is the facilitator. Jello is a spot up shooter, you know, basically. But to now wrap everything off, I'll say do not trust the media because the media is not trustworthy for shit. Like, because when it comes to the Ball brothers, this is why independent shows like Ball in the Family and all these guys, if not for Ball in the Family, we would have believed the Lonzo's a deadbeat rumor. Because remember, many aren't as capable of critically thinking for themselves. They believe what the media tells them. They go with it. They snap on it and they say, "It is what it is. It's facts." Do y'all ever actually go to, like, I was talking, like I said, I was literally with this guy once, and he was like, "Oh, I passed English class. Oh, you don't, you looking at your profile, I made friends. Looking at your profile, you look like you were bullied and the kid, like, you barely had any friends." I'm like, I had friends more than you. I'm not scared because I have friends, in a sense. In all, I'm not like, this is one of the reasons why I also feel TikTok should be canceled, because majority of the people around there are just dumbasses that just believe what they see, rather than actually, as much as we always say, use your eyes and ears. Also, investigate more before you jump to conclusions. We see this with many relationships where the woman would just jump to conclusion, no sense of understanding, just not look for clues, just jump to conclusions. And I'm not saying all women do this, but man, some do. They will just jump to conclusions, and next thing you know, it's the opposite of what they see, and then the shit goes on. Like, that's not a healthy relationship, man. But when it comes to the media, we need to really, really stop with this narrative. We stop believing every single thing the media comes up with. Like, oh, this guy do this. Why do you think Kyrie always love to give the media what they want? Or Draymond? I think the thing with Draymond is that he loves to really be real. As much as I can hate Draymond for kicking mans in the nuts and shit. I respect the dude. For one thing, always keeping it real. It doesn't even matter if the camera's on him. He's saying his mind. Always keeping it real. I've said it as that dad that will tell you like you're trash, but you still gotta keep working. He will give it to you straight. He ain't gonna sugarcoat nothing. He will give it to you straight. I have a parent like that. I have a parent like that too. Like he'll give it to you straight, no questions asked. He'll give it to you straight out of it is. And he's not gonna sugarcoat nothing. Because we live in this idea of realism when it comes to sports that sports media loves to twist narratives just to fit their agenda and make quick buck. Now it's time we stop and shout out to this news reporter, news anchor because he was one of the people that literally I don't know what his name is Brandon. I don't know. He was a reporter for CP24, but he started his own show because he too started understanding, and he's a black brother too. He started understanding that the media like you should start looking at independent media more than all these media shines that don't know much about doing research or doing critical thinking. Like it takes a long time to really research things, but these media shines will just look at what someone says and take their word for it. Same thing we've seen in the justice system. No sense of research. Just believe the victim, believe the victim, believe the victim. If we always believe the victim, majority of people will always go to jail. There are times when believe the victim works, but don't always believe the victim. It's good to believe the victim. Yes, it's good to believe the victim, but sometimes the victim lies. I've given an example how the victim lied and got herself raped later on. Try to use her uncle as leverage. My uncle's is a cop. Okay. Uncle's a cop, right? Yeah. And we're seeing it. We see how they try to use narratives to try ruining LaMelo. Why do you think I even gotta ask, you think Kyrie just wanna be giving the media what they want? Or he wants to say what he truly wants to say? You see, as much as we can all say, well, Kyrie is a very weird guy and talks about the earth is flat and all, he's just giving the media something to talk about. And honestly, he's doing a very smart job at it. Because he knows the media would like to twist narratives, so he's playing mind games with them by giving them a taste of their own medicine. It's that simple, people. You guys should not be always be trusting what you see in the news and actually look at things more closely for yourselves. You think old media really gives a shit as much as everybody else about things? Or they actually care about doing research for themselves? So why trust them? It's good to listen to what they say and listen to what they have, but it's not good to take their word for it because it can ruin a player's career like it did Delonte West. Thank you.